They were like,
I just realised that you and I talk about a lot of stuff, but we've never really properly chatted about your limits.
It's not a foot thing at that point, though, Mish. It's an egg thing at that point.
Mish and Zach.
I was having a conversation with Lexi Toliopoulos, friend of the podcast,
He loves movies.
a few weeks ago, and a few months ago, and he kind of teased me for this because I was like, I said something like, you know, like Tarantino doesn't get the credit he deserves or something like that. And then he teased me because he was like, he's probably the most celebrated filmmaker of all time. But I was like, but I think there's this element because he's so like funny in his interviews and he's so like sure of himself and he talks about himself so much in interviews, and because there's this idea of like this teenage film bro, and because we fall in, like a lot of people fall in love with Quentin Tarantino when they're teenagers. It's one of the first. I read this thing about Tim Beetlejuice. Tim Burton. Tim Burton is the first filmmaker that you recognize a directorial style. So with Tim Burton, when you're like 10, 11, 12, 13, it's the first filmmaker where you go, oh, I can watch multiple films by him and identify like a directorial style and auteur sort of thing. And then that's the first time you have that feeling. And then you move on, and I think Tarantino is not far along that path. That's what you have that at about 14 or 15 with him. Yeah. And then I think because of that, because of all the 14 and 15-year-old boys that love him, because you loved him when you were 14, 15. As you get older, you can start to go, well, I'm more sophisticated than that. I don't like Tarantino. I like the films he's referencing.
Yeah.
And you just sort of go, no, even though he's so, like, he has such a reputation that you almost, there's been a bit of a flip back against it.
100%. I would judge someone who came up to me and we had a conversation. They said their favourite director was Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. I would have that, oh, nerd, or, you know, oh, okay, you're one of those ones. Yeah. And I probably need to get that out of the system.
But there's a lot of cinephiles, I think, that would judge the same way, that they go, oh, well, have you heard of
It's an easy answer almost. It's like an easy crossword answer.
But 100%. It's this thing of like, but he's fucking good.
He is, but I think
saying.
You just sparked something. I haven't thought about this at all. I think one of the reasons, at least our generation, but I think it crosses multiple generations, why they love Quentin Tarantino so much is he makes adult films, right? Like films for adults, I should say. They are R18 plus films. He does not make children's cinema, but it is the first introduction for a lot of teenagers into adult film. So like I think about Pulp Fiction, I'm like, oh, it reminds me of my childhood. I wonder why that is. I think it's because it's the first time I saw a movie where they swore really openly and there was blood in it and a bit of sex in there, and I didn't really understand what was going on, but it was an adult film.
And it's cool, man. I mean, like I think about
soundtracks, man.
Yeah, I think about me being like a little, you know, like a little teenage kid, like a weird little teenage kid growing up in Latrobe Valley. And I think the first time I watched Pulp Fiction was at my auntie and uncle's house, Niecy and Richard. And I definitely wasn't allowed to watch it. And we had lemon, lime and bitters. And I was like, is that technically alcoholic? And they're like, yeah, but it's fine. And then we watched it and they're like, don't tell your parents that we and I just remember being like, and this is cool. And it's like, it's so, but you go, like, this is the feeling, like watching Kill Bill Volume 1 at the movies with my friends last night. I was just like, this is still like the coolest fucking movie.
It's so cool, man.
Like the choices he makes, like every choice is so cool. And it's that thing of like, I think people love to, I think there's this thing that you do when you realize how reverential he is and you realize like the films he's referencing because he's so open about it. Like there's a thing that people love to do like in their early 20s where they're like, oh, well, you know, he just took that scene from Lady Snowblood and, you know, he just took that scene from Patrick. And it's like, yeah, you know that because he admitted to it. Like it's not like he's hiding it. But it's like, the thing that I think you are watching, it's like with Kill Bill, it's like, yes, he took this shot from this movie and he took this whole scene from that movie, but he was the one that thought, I'm going to take the music from this spaghetti western and I'm going to take the visuals from this samurai film and I'm going to put it next to another scene that I've taken, like that I've stolen from this this TV show, and it's like he's almost like
I'm going to throw an anime in there in the middle somewhere.
He's as much a curator as he is a filmmaker, and the way he curates his taste is, I think, pretty unparalleled. The way he'll take from lots of different things. I just think he's cool. He's, but ultimately.
Yeah, the feet stuff's gross or whatever.
The feet stuff's fine.
That is, don't kink shame, Mishy.
Yeah, well, no, for me, it is gross.
Do you know what I thought was really funny? I remember I saw an interview with him once where they were like, what's with like all the feet, or they teased him about his feet. And he's like, I don't show feet any more than I show like tits and ass. And it's like, hey, and then you watch his movies, you're like, oh, you're right. Like he's as pervy with other parts of the body, but it's just interesting that we're cool with it.
My theory about the feet thing, because I say like it's a bit gross. I just I jest, right? But my theory with the feet thing, the reason why people get so up in arms about feet and being like, oh, feet, is because it's actually so common to be turned on by feet. Like, it is wildly common.
Do you know what I think?
Like one of the most popular kinks ever.
Do you want to know my hot take on feet?
Yeah. They give you... I like them.
I like when someone jacks me off with it. Sorry, that's too far.
What a hot take.
No, my hot take with feet. I don't know how to word this without oversharing. My hot take with feet is I think it's weird. Sure, it's weird to be like attracted to feet. But no more than being attracted to boobies or a bum, like whatever. If that's what gets you off, then go for it. That's a preference. It's not a kink, in my opinion. It's a preference. I think what's weird is being grossed out by feet. I think being grossed out by feet is weird because it's like that's a part of your body. Like what? And they're not that weird.
No.
Like
no, it's because they're on the ground though. So for
but
people
they're
who
in shoes.
Yeah, but they're sweaty. I'm not grossed out by feet, to be clear, but I don't want one in my mouth. I just think to find feet gross in a way, like to find feet more gross than knees or the waist or the hands is weird to me. But your hands aren't walking on...
But your hands are like touching dog food and like...
Yeah, but you give them wash.
You wipe your ass.
You give them wash after.
Yeah, I'm not talking about dirty feet.
I don't like that this has become pro or anti-feet. I'm not anti-feet.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't give a fuck about them. I'm nothing to feet. Feet are nothing to me, I should say.
No, and
I'm nothing to feet. They made it clear. They want nothing to do with me.
I've cut feet out.
No, I'm just saying that like they're on the floor. So even if you have a shower, right, you get out of the shower, you then walk to your bed. You're walking across the floor, and the floor is not a clean place.
But if someone,
especially if you have my dog's foul.
Yeah, sure. But if someone like crawled up to you, hands and knees in some sort of erotic fashion, would you be like, "Well, I'm not touching your hands"? Then
I'd be like, "Matt, stop that." That's silly.
We're not talking about Matt. Don't bring your partner into this.
That's silly, Matt. Get off your hands.
What
and
I'm
knees.
saying is, I just think feet are a part of the body, and the body is beautiful, and that's where I sit with feet. So I probably sit further up than neutral, but I don't. But then that doesn't mean I have a foot fetish, does it?
No. I think you're right.
To put that on all your dating profiles. I'm just saying the feet are part of the body and the human body is beautiful.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just because you think they, yeah, exactly right. And the funniest thing is,
I'll let someone shove their foot up my ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Up my ass is fine. To be clear, I don't
suck on your toes.
Nah, that's where I'd rather a foot be.
You wouldn't suck on toes?
So depends who they're attached to.
Because this is what I'm saying.
That's
People like feet
point.
are gross.
That was going to be my point.
So go, Tom,
no
please.
such thing as a fetish because I've really been attracted to different things from different people depending on the partner and how they present themselves and what they're into as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really does depend on who the feet are on.
Yeah.
If they've got nice feet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a part that's really cute.
Oh God!
But this is the thing, like if it really rocks their socks for you to put their feet in your mouth,
Yeah.
and they're clean,
They're clean, yeah, sure.
you know,
If
like,
they want
Yum,
that,
yum, yum.
sure. Yum,
because
yum, yum.
this is the thing, your body, like, yes, your feet are in socks and shoes all day, but the rest of your body is in like shirts and singlets.
What if
and
they?
jackets
Okay, flip that. So you're saying that if someone was like, I'd really like for you to let me put my foot in your mouth, you'd be like, cool, right? We've got.
Yeah.
What's a food you dislike? What is a food you do not like the taste of?
Under most circumstances, egg.
What if they said, I want to put like scrambled eggs all over my feet first, and then you put them in your mouth? That would really do it for me.
I mean, that would be weird. Yes. Sort of
Just
cool.
out of interest, I just want to know.
I mean, the
Like eggy
scale.
growth between the two.
What, they're saying they're dipping their feet in egg.
Yeah, then,
you have to lick
then putting their
But like hotel buffets,
Yeah,
scrambled
like,
eggs,
yeah,
very
so it's
watery,
really-
you know? So
yeah.
it's like,
But
yeah.
I'm struggling to understand what this has got to do with feet.
I'm just interested to know your limits.
Because it's like, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, if they were like,
I just realised that you and I talk about a lot of stuff, but we've never really properly chatted about your limits.
It's not a foot thing at that point, though, Mish. It's an egg thing at that point.
but do you understand, Mish?
No, please
But you've
stop.
said to me, you've said to me, you are happy for someone to put their foot in your mouth if that's their thing, right? And then you said, but what's a food you don't like? What if their feet? What if anybody? Like, it would be the same as if I like the normal thing. You're like,
It was
hey,
a flaw.
sure, you like going down on people. What if they covered it in an egg?
And I just thought it was a fun would you rather, you
I
know?
thought I was trapping you, and it ended up egg on my face.
Hey, you really love giving people kisses. What if they filled their mouth with egg first?
Would you still give them kiss you?
And then to that I say they would have to be very attractive.